First Order officer. The officers of the First Order military shows unwavering allegiance to the Supreme Leader Snoke, leading his massive armies and fleets into relentless drive to dominate the galaxy.
Admiral Ackbar. Ackbar became a Grand Admiral in the New Republic, winning many victories, including the pivotal Battle of Jakku. He retired to Mon Calar, but was coaxed back into service with the Resistance by Princess Leia Organa.
Hello and welcome to Centurion's Corner, and today we are reviewing Admiral Ackbar and the First Order Officer. Obviously this is from the sequel trilogy. It's a Toys R Us exclusive box, and I actually picked it up on Star Action Figures for about £25 I think, because it was a damaged box. We've got a little bit up here and a bit of scuff, but obviously I'm an out of box collector. This box will literally just go straight in the bin. But yeah, I thought it'd be quite nice to get like an Admiral Ackbar kind of Mon Calamari into the mix and stuff like that. And apparently I've heard quite good things about this figure. This guy, not so much, but it'd be interesting to see. But as you can see, we've got the sort of blister pack. It's just kind of, we've got the pencil drawing of these two down here, and on the side it's an exclusive at Toys R Us, so there is no number. On each side we've got the bios of each and the pencil drawings, and on our side we've just got Ackbar written in the black, and obviously Admiral Ackbar, the First Order officer, and other languages. So I guess without further ado, let's crack these two bad boys open. Okay, so here they are in the blister pack. We just get them out, have a little quick sort of overlook over them before going off doing some photos. The actual blister pack up here is actually broken as well, but the actual thing, it feels really flimsy. It's like really plastic. I don't know whether it's because it's got two big figures in there and it's just the weight of it's not that great, but it does feel a lot thinner plastic. So Admiral Ackbar. Oh, actually I'm loving the face sculpt on that actually straight away. It looks really nice. I love these kind of sort of like tentacle bits coming down there. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. And obviously the officer. This guy always reminds me of someone, and I'm never not sure where it is. Sometimes I think it might be a bit like Brandon Stark, Game of Thrones, but yeah, it just seems a bit odd. Oh dear. Okay, so I'll take these guys away, take some pictures, and I'll be back in a moment. Hello, so welcome back. I've been away taking their photos, and for 25 quid, you know, it is a steal getting two characters here, but one kind of really just doesn't even show up in the limelight, to be honest, and the other one does. So it's probably no brainer which one is on par and which one is a bit of a sucker really. So we start with the sucker, which is the First Order officer. He comes with one accessory, which is his little tiny little blaster and pistol. It's exactly the same as what First Order Stormtrooper has. It just hasn't got that little nub bit on the side. We just got that kind of silver bit of detail in there, so it can just fit into his little holster, which is just a boring kind of squarish kind of holster really. Nothing really sort of goes for it, and it goes into his trigger finger there. It's not too bad of a pistol, but at least he comes with something, I suppose. The other accessory he comes with is his hat. I'm not too sure if this is supposed to be it, but it just looks a bit of a doofus with this little bit that's a little bit bent over. I don't know whether that's because of the box, but it looks kind of like it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, it's just kind of standard, but it's just really scary and a bit worrying with this sort of like, I don't know, just this really kind of sort of short fuzzed hair. I mean, it's pretty much similar to mine, but it just looks really weird, and just the way it's painted on there just looks a bit weird and a bit crazy. And we've got these massive eyebrows. It's definitely based on someone, because he definitely resembles someone that maybe I've seen in the film or something like that, but I'm not too sure. So what I simply do with this anyway is that I just put the brim right down, and it kind of reminds me of the officers in Clone Wars, where you never really saw their face, you just saw the bottom of their mouth. Or was it the officers in Clone Wars? Maybe it's Rebels. So we just have it like that. And kind of articulation wise, we can go left, we can go right, we can look up, we can look down. His arms come up here. We've got the rotation as well at the shoulder, which is a bit stiff there. His elbow has a 90-degree bend. We've got a rotation at the wrist, and it's on a hinge, very slightly. Actually, I don't think it's got the hinge. That's just rotation. This one's got a hinge. But, this one, this is really far. Oh, it's really far up in the cuff, so you don't really get anything from that. Rotation here at the waist. He can kick forward. His legs can come out this wide. You can go back. Got a rotation at the upper thigh. Got a double jointed knee. And then we've got the rocker and the pivot at the ankle. And that's it. I mean, it's just standard Black Series articulation. It's pretty good for a sequels character, but he just looks a bit bland and boring. You know, we can see it's kind of, again, taken away inspiration from the Imperials and the Nazis again. We've got these kind of insignia things that we've got carried over, the sort of very sort of edged kind of sort of military wear. Got the cuff around there as well, bottom, nothing on this arm. On the back, just pretty standard, down to his sort of Imperial kind of normal trousers as well, into the boots, which we've got a little bit more detailing on there. We've got this over sort of step cup here, and then also got these kind of belt little buckles, and that's kind of him for him really. There's just not really much sort of to talk about. It's quite nice to have on the shelf. It's quite nice to sort of have a low sort of extra additional to the first orders, but yeah, it doesn't stand out as much as sort of like Pier and Tarkin or anything like that. You know, he's just a very standard character. But going over to Grand Admiral Ackbar, it's actually phenomenal. I love the actual sculpt, I love everything about it. But first we just get into the gun. And it's just a first order / sort of rebel blaster. Doesn't look too bad. It's, you know, it's got the reminiscence up there of an actual original trilogy kind of blaster. And as you can see, you can hold it in his hand, all right. And we've got all the silver detailing on there. A bit poor at the top, where the paint's kind of chipped off and chipped away, but nonetheless, it's done all right, and it's all in a sort of nice sort of grey kind of plastic rather than black. So articulation-wise, we can look left, and we can slightly look right. He's got an articulated jaw, which is nice, and also the top of his head, so we can tilt it back and forward and bring the jaw up as well, and then down. We've got arm movement that come up to here. Got the rotation at the shoulder. Got rotation at the actual elbow as well. His hand can do a 90-degree sort of bend, or elbow. Rotation at the wrist, and it's also on a hinge. We got swivel at the waist. His legs can come out this far, kick this far forward, this far back. We've got a rotation at the upper thigh. We've got the double jointed knee, and we've got a rocker and a pivot. So yeah, you know, he's pretty good. But where he really shines, as you can see with the light just bouncing off him, is his face sculpt and everything that goes with it. It's just the colouring with the wash and all that over. It just absolutely looks great. The gloss on the eyes just looks phenomenal, and I'm quite excited actually, even if this is the same head that's coming for the Admiral Ackbar for the Return of the Jedi one that's coming out soon. Even as we open it right up, you can see inside all that extra bit of the mouth and his tongue. And going down to his general sign of goods, it's just a khaki green kind of top nothing really much going for it. Got this insignia badge here, but again, then we come back down to his hands, and as you can see, all that detail in there, looks amazing. All those, it just actually looks like crabs, like actual crab skin shell kind of thing. We've got all those extra little paws and stuff on his hands, and then on the other side we've got this part and the trigger finger, and then going down to his legs, it's just bog standard grey trousers and into his little feet, all these little bootses. But we've got this nice sort of texture over that and stuff, and this bit's made of like a soft vinyl. It's not split there, so it does hinder the legs a little bit, but it's all around at the back and everything. So he's actually a really nice figure. So, you know, for getting this pack as a 2-pack, but only costing £25, we got this for a £5 and this for 20. That's the way I see it, and it looks absolutely brilliant. So it makes me really excited about the Admiral Ackbar figure that's coming out, and I'll be definitely purchasing that one when it does. So thanks for joining me on this one. Yeah, I mean, would I recommend this character? If you can get it for 25, if you can get it for less, then I highly recommend it. If you're paying over the odds £30 above, then I highly wouldn't recommend it. But that's just my personal preference, really. So thank you once again. Thank you for joining me on this one. You can comment down below. You can follow me on Instagram, which is in the description. You can comment, subscribe, all that malarkey, and I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye.